It was the moment millions had been waiting for. On July 8, the world collectively held its breath as the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, made her long-anticipated reappearance in the public eye after a prolonged and mysterious absence. But what no one expected was that this reappearance would coincide with the arrival of a formidable global figure, the President of France, Emmanuel Macron. The occasion: France's state visit to the United Kingdom, an event layered in symbolism, history, and, if the French press is to be believed, surprising interpersonal revelations. This wasn't just a diplomatic reunion, this was an encounter that carried emotional weight, political nuance, and more hidden signals than a game of chess played at the highest level. From the very first moment Kate appeared beside King Charles III, Queen Camilla, and Prince William, it was clear this was no ordinary royal engagement. She was radiant, poised, and unmistakably strategic in her every move. Her eyes scanned the crowd, her wave was measured yet warm, and every gesture seemed to suggest she had returned with purpose. But when Emmanuel Macron entered the frame, all eyes shifted to the subtle but telling dynamic between the French leader and the future Queen of the United Kingdom. Their handshake was firm yet layered with diplomacy. Their smiles, polished but not overly exuberant. But what caught the attention of the French press, and indeed the world, were the moments in between, the pauses, the glances, the tension beneath the surface. The French media, known for its keen political and social analysis, wasted no time unpacking the optics of this historic meeting. Several outlets reported that Macron appeared visibly respectful, even deferential, in his body language toward the Princess of Wales, a stark contrast to his typical commanding presence on the international stage. In fact, some commentators noted that Macron's tone softened when addressing Kate, as though aware of the delicacy and gravity of her return to public duty. And while British sources maintained a diplomatic silence on the encounter, the French press spoke freely, confirming what many had long suspected, that behind the smiles and protocol, this meeting carried emotional resonance that couldn't be hidden by etiquette. Observers noted that this wasn't just about two public figures standing side by side. It was about two nations, once fraught with political friction post-Brexit, re-establishing their historical bond through carefully choreographed symbolism. Kate's presence, in particular, was seen as a strategic masterstroke. She wasn't just attending the state visit, she was, in many ways, becoming the emotional anchor of the event. With King Charles still managing his health and Queen Camilla maintaining her supporting role, it was Kate who stood tallest beside President Macron, quite literally embodying the unity and resilience the monarchy wanted to project. French tabloids were quick to publish detailed descriptions of Kate's fashion choices, interpreting her wardrobe as a carefully curated diplomatic statement. One major publication highlighted how her choice of a French-inspired tailored dress subtly nodded to shared cultural heritage, while still exuding the quiet strength of British nobility. The attention to detail, from her accessories to the subtle braid in her hair, was dissected with surgical precision by stylists and political commentators alike. For them, this was not just fashion, it was diplomacy woven in silk. Meanwhile, Macron's camp also played their part with practiced perfection. The president's speeches were filled with warm references to British resilience, royal tradition, and historic Franco-British alliances. But when he turned to address Kate specifically, during one of the banquets, cameras caught a fleeting yet powerful exchange of eye contact, acknowledging her not just as a ceremonial figure, but as someone central to the future of this ancient institution. The French press described the moment as deeply human, adding that Macron's tone shifted subtly, becoming more personal, almost reverent. What's more telling is how the public received it all. Social media was ablaze with commentary from both French and British citizens. Some speculated that Macron's visible admiration for Kate signaled a pivot in his diplomatic style, more warmth, more charm, and a recognition of the soft power the British royals still wield. Others saw it as a clever political maneuver, designed to curry favor with a British public that remains wary of continental interference post-Brexit. But across all platforms, one theme remained constant: Kate Middleton had stolen the spotlight, not with grandeur, but with grace. As the three-day state visit unfolded, more layers of this carefully choreographed interaction were peeled back. During the second day's engagement at Westminster Abbey, Kate was seen walking beside Macron as they paid tribute to fallen soldiers. The French press highlighted the moment when Macron slightly adjusted his pace to match hers, a subtle gesture that didn't go unnoticed. In a world where micro-movements are often overlooked, this seemingly small adjustment was interpreted as a deep sign of mutual respect and recognition. By the time the state banquet at Buckingham Palace arrived, the stage was fully set for what would become the most watched event of the visit. As guests entered the glittering ballroom, every camera lens honed in on Kate. Her entrance was nothing short of cinematic. Wearing a floor-length gown adorned with beading that shimmered under the chandeliers, she appeared as both monarch-in-waiting and cultural icon. The moment she was seated next to President Macron only heightened the intrigue. Their quiet exchanges, occasional smiles, and shared toasts sent royal watchers and political analysts into overdrive. French newspapers published side-by-side image comparisons of Kate with former royal icons, including Princess Diana and Queen Elizabeth II, arguing that the Princess of Wales had now stepped fully into her future role, not just through lineage but through undeniable presence. They noted that Macron seemed almost aware of this historical context, addressing her not merely as a current figure, but as someone whose future influence would shape bilateral relations for decades to come. But beyond the glitter and photo ops, there was something else, something more visceral. The French press didn't shy away from suggesting that this meeting might have been more emotionally significant for Kate than anyone previously realized. Having spent months away from the spotlight, undergoing treatment and dealing with personal challenges kept largely private, this was a moment of re-emergence. And doing so on the world stage, alongside a powerful global leader, only amplified the courage it took. Macron, known for his emotional intelligence, seemed to recognize that. And the French press made sure the world did too. For all the official decorum, it was in these quiet recognitions, these subtle affirmations of mutual humanity, that the real story unfolded. Macron, often criticized for his distant political style, appeared visibly softened around Kate. And she, in turn, responded with quiet dignity, her posture upright, her gaze unwavering. Together, they embodied a kind of modern diplomacy, one that isn't just conducted through treaties and speeches, but through empathy, presence, and shared symbolism. The final day of the state visit brought a mixture of celebration and contemplation. Kate, once again, stood at the heart of it all, not overshadowed by rank or protocol, but embraced by a public eager for inspiration. As she waved her final goodbye to President Macron on the steps of Windsor Castle, the image was instantly iconic. The Princess of Wales, standing tall, bidding farewell to a president who had come not just to honor a state alliance, but to acknowledge a woman who had risen above personal trials to become a beacon of national strength. As the French press declared in bold headlines, La Reine du Peuple, the Queen of the People. Their words, though unofficial, rang with an emotional truth that perhaps even the British press hesitated to voice. For them, this wasn't just a meeting of political minds, it was the beginning of a new royal chapter, and Kate was writing it in real time. And now, as the dust settles and the headlines quiet down, one question lingers in the hearts of millions. Did this remarkable meeting mark the rise of a new kind of monarchy, one defined not just by tradition, but by empathy, grace, and global resonance? Now, it's over to you. Do you believe Kate Middleton's powerful presence during this state visit signaled a new royal era? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive royal reports.